video. This is a free reading to one of her authored books. This is entitled 101 Success Secrets for Women, Overcoming Your Obstacles and Achieving Your Dreams. The author of this is none other than Miss Sue Augustine. We are now in part 2, Go a Little Higher. Subchapter 7, Dream Big with No Limits. Big thinking precedes big achievement by Wilfred Peterson. God can do anything, you know, far more than you could imagine or guess or request in your wildest dreams. Ephesians 3:20. During my career with a large direct sales company, I was exposed to many exceptional success strategies and powerful concepts for setting and reaching goals. These techniques set in motion a brand new pathway in my life, one that eventually led to career success, spiritual growth, and personal freedom. One technique that impressed me immensely encouraged me to dream, and dream big with no limits. At first, this was hard for me to do, since with my habitual poverty mentality, it was more natural for me to focus on the reasons I couldn't achieve something rather than believing it was possible. So, to make the dream more realistic, I turned my dream into a sort of mental movie that I played over and over in my mind. It is a well known principle that the more times you rehearse an experience or event in your imagination, the more realistic and believable it becomes, and the more acceptable it is. A good example is doing the opposite, using the destructive power of worry, which is like a negative mental movie. To intensify your healthy mental movie, fill in as much detail and emotion as possible, drawing on all five senses. How would the dream look? And what would it feel like? How would it taste? What would be the sounds? And what about the smell? The idea is to make the dream as genuine and visible as possible. This longing was to be an inspirational speaker, so I could offer to others the same principles and guidelines that had transformed my life. As a salesperson, I had been exposed to some of the finest sales training and motivational messages in the business. I was also attending church and hearing life transforming sermons and discovering God's purpose and power in my life. As a result, I made some dramatic choices and changes in my personal life, as well as in my career. I wanted to share those steps with others so they could benefit. So, after much prayer, I settled on a dream to become the national sales trainer for the company I was working with at the time. Well, that was quite a stretch, since there was no such position in that company. Talk about limitations. But my trainer had said, no limits. So I went on dreaming. Next, I started to draw on my five senses and visualized myself wearing a red business suit, carrying a black leather briefcase, and boarding an airplane to travel across the country. Then I pictured myself on stage in front of large audiences, inspiring them with success principles, along with my personal life example of dreaming big. In my imagination, I could even hear the applause and see the standing ovations. During that whole exercise, there was always the temptation to say, it can't happen. There are too many obstacles and limitations. Eventually, I was leaving the dream, and it was as if I had been there 1,000 times. You may struggle with the same challenges. See if any of these statements sound familiar. There's not enough time. I don't have the proper education. I have no experience in that area. I can't afford it. I'm too old. Or I'm too young. I don't have what it takes. It's never been done before. I don't know where the funds will come from. It's probably not meant to happen. We can easily sabotage our dreams by coming up with all the reasons why they can't work or won't happen. If we aren't able to see how they're possible, we'll never allow ourselves to dream big. Don't limit yourself that way. With God, all things are possible. What are your perceived limitations? Are you willing to let them go? An incredible power is released when we dare to step outside our comfort zones. When we learn to genuinely pray, God, show me your big dream for me.